What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're on episode 13. This is a very dope episode because if you're watching, you could see I got my crew around me right here. I got Jeff, Michael, Franco, and we're going to do a cool little podcast, episode 13. Thanks for coming, guys.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Excited.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, and
Always a pleasure.
Cool. I'm
Is
excited
that your
because
Smooth.
actually he has some dope voices that you might hear in some of the videos and the backgrounds and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
After
Like-
the kids were, yeah.
So you might be seeing here, if you're watching, 3 bottles here. I'm kind of mixing this podcast with another project I have going on, Mezcal Buzz, which is going to be a blog and video series, a bunch of stuff around mezcal. And I was talking to the boys a while ago, and we're talking about mezcal and tequila. A lot of people often say like, "Oh, mezcal is like the tequila, right? It's like a tequila." So around this podcast, we're going to be sipping on some bottles here, right?
Nice.
What do you guys have to say? I mean, you guys are awfully quiet.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
talking too much.
Yeah, we're ready. Didn't
I'm
want to
ready.
interrupt.
I'm gonna
I'm
do this one
excited.
first.
I've been ready.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you guys think of the setup we have here?
It took a while, but we're here.
we missed the golden hour, but it's all good.
Well, it's
missed-
pretty rad. It's
Yeah.
like having a
Hopefully
whole
we'll start here.
studio. We have like a multi-cam setup
Yeah.
with a ton of different lights.
Yeah.
Like,
you know
it's
what?
pretty cool to see this in the wilderness.
We actually got 4 cameras set up right now, so.
So we're
That's pretty
taking
dope.
full shots for these tastes, even though it's just a tasting, but we could take
This
full
will be your
shots.
live view.
So I'm
That
pouring
does
up.
look pretty cool though.
That does look pretty
Yeah.
dope.
Cool.
Cool. So we're set up here. This first bottle, we're gonna taste the tequila first to start us off with the tequila as we go into the mezcales. This is courtesy of Jeff.
Hey,
Tell us about why you picked
Sponsored.
Casamigos.
it's one of my favorite tequilas. I think it's considered one of the smoothest. So, yeah.
Cool. We're gonna taste that right
I'm
now.
excited.
I'm glad that he picked it too because we were talking a while ago about like celebrity alcohol, celebrity tequila, celebrity brands. So we got 2 celebrity samples up here. For those of you
right
that
on.
don't know, George Clooney, right? Casamigos.
Yeah.
Well, let's taste
Let's
it.
Yeah,
dive
let's do
into
it.
this.
Salud, guys.
Salud.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
And we're sipping, right? Not.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Make sure you put the pinkies out. Yeah.
That's good. That's actually one you can sip on.
No,
Yeah, there's no like real harsh aftertaste. It's pretty smooth. I mean,
Almost
it's
has
one of the
that
better,
lemon
I-
aftertaste. I don't know.
Oh, what aftertaste?
Kind of like a lemon.
like a citric.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
citrusy.
citrusy. This is from what? Agave Azul.
Blanco.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. It's like one of those things I don't like that I like this tequila that much because it is a celebrity one. But I feel like in this particular case, like what we were talking about the other day, it's not all about the branding because a lot of people don't know it's a George Clooney one
Yeah.
versus like a lot of tequilas or
To
just
be
spirits
honest,
in general.
I
coming
just found out that this is the one. I knew he had one, but when you mentioned it, I was like, oh, this is the one. I didn't know. I was
Yeah.
just tasting it. Started interrupting.
No, that's cool, and I think that's cool when it's like a silent investor because it's a good product
Right.
Yeah.
versus like a product that's selling somebody's name.
Right.
True.
And I think there's a lot of those right now,
Yeah.
so I'm happy with this one.
Who was this one again? I forgot.
So we'll go to the next one. I just finished this shot. If you want to finish yours, Migs, I'll
Oh,
tell you what.
okay.
Because actually, we just came from this tequila now. We're going into the first mezcal. And the mezcal here is Ojo de Tigre. And that's by an actor in Mexico, Luis Hernan Mendez. And if you guys saw out here on Netflix, you might have saw Club de Cuervos. He's known for that. So,
That's
I mean,
the soccer one, right?
yeah. So I think in Mexico right now, it's like the equivalent of like the George Clooney status on a brand. And so this one's doing really well. I mean, let me pour it up. It's doing well. Like the marketing is dope. Like I actually like the marketing a lot. This one's called, they call it Mezcal de Todos. And they say it's a good one like for people to start drinking. It's supposed to be not so,
So mezcal
Strong.
has this.
Where's the what's the price range between the
Yeah,
what, is
that's
it
true, yeah.
tequila and this one that we're having right now?
so they're about the same. This is about $35 equivalent
Okay.
in dollars would be about a $35 to $40 bottle. I think.
And this is what, like a $50 bottle or something?
Oh shit.
Yeah, it
50
was
or
like
60,
50.
I think.
Yeah, 60 bucks.
something,
Yeah.
yeah.
So a
Okay,
little bit of
wow.
a gap, not too much. This would be like a decent, like not like a maybe on your Saturday night and you want to have a little bit of
Yeah.
nothing fancy.
Yeah, easier to
Nothing fancy, but not too like harsh.
And you'll see it when you taste it now. Like I have my,
Let me see that bottle.
yeah, the bottle's cool. I like the bottle. It's like an old medicine.
This is
I
the
know,
one.
I always like jars and bottles that
Yeah, it
have
looks cool.
this stuff on it.
This is the one that had that really
Something
cool
you
like
could
commercial,
reuse.
right?
Yeah.
This brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have, that's part of their video campaign.
right.
That commercial was cool.
Yeah, it was.
And if you see, like, this one's light, we'll taste it in a second, but it's only 37% alcohol, while most mezcales average about 40 and up, 43, even higher, like some in the 48.
Oh, this tastes like Malibu then. No, I'm just kidding.
For those of you that don't know, I'm sorry to cut in. Ojo de Tigre, Eye of the Tiger. So I just have that song going on in my
Rocky
head.
Balboa
Yeah.
hitting a punching bag.
So it's shot, shot,
Ooh, you wanna
shot,
taste
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salud. Salud.
Cheers.
I gotta mention to smell it first.
Yeah, I actually did smell it a
Oh,
little
wow.
bit when it was going in. I was like,
Wow.
but you could
Wow,
for sure
that's
taste the
surprisingly smooth.
That's
smoking it.
really smooth.
for
Oh
a
my God.
$35 bottle.
Yeah.
Bro, that's
It's
super
really
smooth.
good.
But the fact that it does have a lower alcohol percentage kind of aids
Oh,
that
what does
too.
it
a
have?
little. It's like
37.
37.
Compared to like a 40 and a tequila. That's not that much
It's
of a
not,
difference.
but that probably helps the smoothness a little bit too.
I mean,
That
let's
extra
talk-
3% is water, and they just poured it in there.
I mean, finish one of those bottles and you're still gonna feel like.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
And so what do you notice, like, going between the two? Like they're the equivalent, whereas this is a tequila blanco, and then this is a mezcal joven. Joven is like the equivalent of blanco. So how would you compare the taste of the two that you just?
You could definitely taste the smokiness in the mezcal. Different, super smooth. This one was a little more, I guess not. I don't want to say it's harsh, but it has a little bit more of a kick at the back end.
I agree. I
Yeah.
think the Ojo de Tigre was much smoother than the previous
Yeah.
tequila we
I
just
was gonna say
tasted.
the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
super
I
smooth.
bet that would be killer in cocktails too.
I was
Yeah.
about to
Because you
say,
don't
I mean,
taste
Yeah,
cocktails
super
with this
smooth.
one is. it
This
gives
one's
it a
probably
good smoky
dangerous.
taste.
I literally thought this was smooth, but that's.
Do they
really
sell this out
smooth.
here or not yet?
Not yet.
That's good.
That's why I was glad to bring that one to try like different.
Right.
I was trying to pick up the one Dos Hombres, which was the actors of Breaking
Breaking
Bad. I wanted
Yeah.
to taste
Huh.
their.
Yeah, how much is it?
Which actors do you know?
The leads.
The
Brian,
leads,
yeah. Right on.
Brian Creston and
Jesse. I always forget
yeah,
his name.
fuck.
Yeah. That
I mean, that makes sense. They went from cooking up some blue stuff to
yeah,
It's a mess.
some
Mezcal.
moonshine.
Yeah.
and it's tight because Jesse, he was interviewed about it, and I was reading how their experience of discovering mezcal and how they found it. There's a lot of places you could go and tour. Oh, you could tour and go do that. I keep hearing something. No, you're hitting the cable.
That's
Oh,
cool.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's cool.
Go ahead.
That's probably why everybody wears the
Yeah,
the
headphones.
things.
Oh,
I need to.
okay.
Cause yeah, get it.
But it's a good setup for being out here in the
No, yeah,
wilderness.
definitely.
But what I was getting at, his experience, like they went to different mezcalerias and stuff, and the one they found that they like, he described it as like a moonshine place, like it was in the cut in Oaxaca in the forest, and he was like, oh, we had to chop machetes down to get to this place, and it was like a moonshine kind of place. And it's kind of moonshine basically
Big time.
when it's not regular or
Right.
regulated. How do I
Yeah, it's
say
like
that?
every
Right.
batch is unique, so you might
Yeah.
get like some crazy strong ass one. Like,
What they do control is obviously the alcohol, like to be branded and labeled like this and meet requirements. You
so
have to
there
have-
is that.
But there is
okay.
the moonshine side of it.
Right.
And that's the interesting part of mezcal is that there's so many, and there's like moonshine operations, you could call it. You could go get a lot of really good ones, and then probably some really crazy ones that you're like, dude, I'm gonna go blind from it.
You know what's crazy about mezcal? I've always liked it. It has like a lot of similar smokiness and sometimes not to that extent of woodiness of like different scotches and
You
and
know,
like whiskeys and stuff.
you know what it has too that I just noticed right now taking a second
Sorry
drink.
to change the direction. Where
No,
No,
Lay on it.
that's pretty legit. Right now taking that second little drink, I just felt it. So like this one, it kind of kicks a little bit in the beginning. It's like it's almost like you could taste the alcohol right when you put it in your mouth. But then this one is like you drink it and then you get the kick like in the back of the throat. This one like hits you right away,
Yeah.
but it's super minimal. So it like you're still drinking and it's going down smooth.
Yeah, and right now that sip is what made me think. Because usually I describe mezcal to people that don't know it. It's like somewhere between a tequila and a whiskey because it's a little
That's a good one.
tequila and like the smoky woodiness of a whiskey, but it's really not. I think it's more like a scotch.
Yeah.
Because
really
it's
smooth.
it's got that smoothness to it.
Yeah.
And it's more smoky than it is wood.
And this
Oh
is
yeah, for sure. For sure.
and this isn't even like top tier like mezcal, right? So like this is like still decent, but like
Yeah,
it gets
yeah.
you could get something a little more
Like
smooth, a
Dos
little.
Hombres. I wouldn't.
You can get something a little bit. Oh yeah, you definitely can, and stronger and like more. The interesting thing about it too that makes a big difference between the mezcales versus like a tequila, is that each what would like brewer, they're not brewing it, but like the maestros of mezcales that are like fermenting it and bottling it,
Right.
their process could differentiate in like different steps along the way that it'll taste different, even if it's like the same
Company.
agave. Like it could be the same agave,
Right,
but
right.
their process is different, and that's what makes a lot of the flavor in the mezcal versus tequila, which it's like more regulated. It has its like one agave. It has its one like process. It cooks
Right.
versus if we were all
So all the
for-
measurements are like accurate as
yeah,
hell
it's
on
all
that.
like it's all more regular tasting, I guess. I don't know if that's the way to.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
Consistent.
could get some like way better mezcales.
But this one's decent for sure. I mean, I
Yeah,
like it.
like it.
And
it
it's
comes
just
down to taste. I
but-
mean, whatever you like.
Yeah.
But the reason I noticed it so much the second time was because the first time we had just had that, and then this one hits different right when you drink it, and so like sipping a little bit after I had the first initial taste, then you
Yeah.
could really like. I guess that second drink has a lot more information, like if you're gonna
'Cause
like it or not. You know?
There's one mezcal I was telling you guys about that is interesting too. It's called Mezcal Ancestral. So there's 3 categories. There's like mezcal artesanal, which is most. This is both of the ones I have here today are that. And then there's mezcal ancestral, and the process is what differentiates those categories. The regular mezcal is more industrialized, like tequila. Maybe stainless steel, like cooking instruments,
right.
and like the oven they do it is just like machines that smash it just to get a quicker production. And mezcal ancestral has the process of what's the word I'm working? Did I say ancestral right now, or
Yeah.
I meant to?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I meant to say artesanal. It has more hands-on, like more human hands-on. So like the it's cooked in an underground
Like it's not
pit
so
that is
processed,
dug.
right?
Exactly, not so. The grounding process has to be done by stone. So a lot of times they have like mules and stuff or horses doing it because it has to be through a stone. When they mash the cooked agave, it has to be smashed versus steel machine.
I was gonna say it's cool. Maybe you should explain a little bit too, because I didn't know. But you know how a lot of people like, I don't know if a lot of people do, but like some people think like tequila is like mezcal or whatever. They think it's the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. But the way that they're both processed is different, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
Remember I
Yeah,
told you
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
what's the process? Because I didn't know what gave that the smokiness, I guess.
Yeah, and the
Well-
smokiness is the barbecuing it
Right.
underground,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, why don't you tell us about that over the next shot?
Oh, cool.
Oh,
And I'm looking at the bottom like.
So
okay,
we have
that's good.
another one here, which this one is from a company out there that makes mezcal. It's called Mezcal Desconocido. I actually approached them about they do customization on bottles and stuff. So I was like, that's cool. Like I'd like to have a. Oops.
Ooh.
This is the first time I opened this one. I brought
That's
it
a
out
nice
special
bottle.
for today. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
made it.
really nice.
Mezcal Desconocido is
sound
for
familiar?
for
Oh,
the
yeah, it does. I've heard that
website
Is there
before.
like an
for
artist
Mezcal
that does
Buzz.
that?
Yeah, they
Gotta
have
get that
artists
12-year-old
that
joke
design
out real
the,
quick.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Bro, that's so wrong.
So maybe one day we'll have more of these and start having some.
I might
Can
do
I
a
get
mezcal
like
one.
not that big of a shot? Damn.
Yeah,
You're giving out real shots. I'm like,
Why you
I'm
So
saying
you're
gonna be
trying
all.
to do tastings.
I know. I'm like, I'm trying to make it to the last round.
It's the last round, bro. You gotta go all out.
Well, this is a good one. 'cause
This is hot ones and shit. Yeah, but just a dab.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah, just a little dab.
This is a special bottle, though. That's why I want to give it to you. I hope it's good.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to taste this one.
All right, pour me a little bit more then. I feel like
Here we go.
this is the last round. So
Yeah,
after
there you
this,
go.
if I KO, nobody's gonna see it.
Nah, we won't KO. So this is a tipo Tobala. This one's from Oaxaca. Like the Ojo de Tigre one has Espadín and Tobala. So it's an ensemble of 2 agaves. But one's from Puebla, Mexico, and one's from Oaxaca. The Tobala is from Oaxaca in this case. And then Ojo de Tigre, the Tobala is from Puebla. Which is interesting too, like mixing all the different agaves and stuff
So
like
this
that.
is when like people are like, it's a single source wine. single source mezcal.
Yeah.
That means it's just
yeah. Almost.
Smells good.
Cool.
Salud.
Alright, salud.
Cheers.
Cheers. Salud.
This
That one's interesting.
this actually tastes
Whoa.
a lot like whiskey.
Yeah.
As a hard whiskey
It
taste.
didn't get smooth at all. It just kept that same balance.
To me,
Yeah,
it had
and
that citrusy
but it was good.
taste across it.
It did feel like super extra woody, like almost like a whiskey, huh? But you can still taste the
It's like
mezcal.
really earthy.
It's a mezcal, right?
Yeah.
You can still taste it, like in the background, but it just hits you with like whiskey vibes, like right when you take it.
For
I
sure.
feel like a tart or like not sour, but like citrusy, like tang on the tongue from this one. Like
I just felt to like
Yeah.
I think
I can
like
see
I don't know. Yeah, it just hit me with like the. It's
No,
it's
yeah,
like
I can't unsee whiskey on this. or
yeah,
taste.
dude, you
Really?
could taste it.
Yeah, you can.
whiskey, I don't
just-
taste the whiskey, in it. And I say that because I had the Zignum the other day
Like
at
the
your place,
Jameson.
Franco,
Mm-hmm.
and that to me tasted zero like a mezcal. To me, it tasted like a full-on
Well,
whiskey.
yeah, and
have a
it has a
Woodford
little bit of a
bottle for you to
sweetness
try,
to it
though.
too.
Like I have a Woodford bottle, and I think you'll see the cut.
That'd be
the
a fun
comparison.
one
It's just
to do
if you
too, is
drink-
to compare different
Spirits.
spirits.
And
yeah.
if you drink a lot of whiskey and then you drink something like this, you could see the similarities. Like it doesn't taste just like whiskey,
Yeah.
but this one
No,
is
but like-
pretty
it's
damn
not
close.
as woody.
No,
for
but
sure.
Zignum, for example, the one I'm talking about, tasted so much like whiskey. A big part is because that's an añejo. Like right now we're in Joven, right? That
The
one
youth.
skips reposado. Añejo is like 1 year at least, 1 to 3 years aged in wooden barrels, and in this case, aged in whiskey oak barrels. Was
Right.
It? And so like I feel like it totally just
All the flavor
sponged
came.
the flavor of the whiskey, and it
for sure.
overpowered even the smokiness in that Zignum is like very faint compared to the oak or the wood flavor, and it took that away from me. They say like there's like a little thing that they say the best one. Many mezcaleros say is Joven because it's the natural like flavor that agave came out in distillation. Then there's reposados, which are for 3 months, also aged, I guess, 3 months, and sometimes glass, sometimes barro. What's barro? Clay pots, and sometimes the wood ones too. But it's less time, so it doesn't take that much, and they use that to infuse it with flavors, which there's a lot of really good ones too that I'd like to bring. I got you that one, that Pechuga, Franco.
Oh, that one's so
good.
good.
I love that in cocktails.
Good though.
I cut you off earlier though. You were talking about the difference of tequila and mezcal.
Like the process of like the way that they get, I guess to the final stage is a lot different, right?
Yeah, just mainly the way they cook the agave is like a big one. So, well, to start with the agave, tequila is only the blue agave, and then mezcal could be any of the agaves.
So
that
let's say
exist.
it's the same one, okay, but then
So let's say it's the same one. So then when they take it to cook the agave, the tequilas cook it like in a soup, like it's cooked.
like in the
Like
fluid,
steamed,
like
like in a big stainless steel thing, and it's steamed in there and it cooks. Cool, we're gonna have to wrap up soon, but it's cooked. It's
Right.
cooked. And then the mezcales are baked underground, like barbecued.
right.
So that's the second difference. And then the other one, it's machines and stuff that do tequila,
Right.
and then mezcal, the process of the stone.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are the differences.
main-
So the similarities you see there's way more similarities than there are differences. And because technically a mezcal is any agave cooked and distilled. So technically tequila is a mezcal in that category. And that gets all crazy because there's denominations of origin for them that protects like the spirits.
Right.
So tequila is one, mezcal is one, and there's only 9 states that could technically make a distilled agave liquor and label it mezcal. There's only 9 states, but there's like a raicilla, which is in Jalisco and other states, which is an agave distilled
Right.
liquor. Raicilla is a lot like mezcal. Then there's a bacanora from another states, and sotol, and they're all technically a mezcal because they're the same general process of cooking and distilling the agave.
That's
So
all.
these, hopefully we do a bunch more videos. I'd love to
Yeah.
have you guys
I'm
back
down.
because there's an endless amount of
If
of
I
them
can
to do.
say one last thing, out of all the 3 bottles, this one's my favorite. I like this matte
Really?
look,
Oh, cool.
this ceramic kind of. I don't know.
Which like
Well,
alcohol do you like more though?
I was
Not
gonna
bottle.
say,
I
could
would
we
have
all?
to say, out of the taste, for sure, would have to be.
This guy?
Yeah, the
I
Eye
think
of the
so too.
Tiger.
I think I'm gonna agree with you on that one. That one was smooth.
Smooth.
Can
I
we all
actually
get a
am gonna
shot
go
of our
with this
favorite
one.
drinks?
I guess we'll have
Yeah.
one last one.
Yeah, okay.
We'll have a
I'm gonna
shot
go
of-
with that one too. Sorry, George Clooney.
It was good though. Don't get me wrong. It's Casamigos is nice.
Oh, Casamigos
No, yeah,
is
it's
like
nice.
one of,
Did you want
man.
one
that
of
one
my
or this
favorite
one?
I'm gonna
tequilas
take
for
the Eye
sure.
of the Tiger, though.
The Clune,
Clune Dog.
Clune Dog, Billionaire,
Cool.
Chameleon. I don't know.
Well, I'm stoked
Yeah.
to have had you guys. I hope we could do more. I'm really excited about this setup we just did
Yeah.
out here in the freaking
Yeah.
forest.
Hopefully it looks good.
And
Yeah, those
we,
are rad.
Nice.
You gotta use my footage. I just took some behind the scenes live.
Yeah, we'll cut that in there. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Salud.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
To the next one.
Yes.
You guys, thanks for watching.
Oh yeah. That's a winner. That's good.
Like delicious.
Ooh, look at that battery almost went already.
You need to get a more efficient sound guy next time.
Oh,
Oh
who
shit,
the
you
fuck
are the
hired
sound
this
I need to
guy.
hire a sound guy.